Hi, this is Rick Storley with New Home Sales Coach, and here to show you another really cool strategy as it relates to attracting home buyers. Now, the graph that I'm going to show you right here is an example of how to position your offering as it relates to price and square footage in the marketplace. Of course, this is with home builders. Now, what you see on number one is where your potential competitor is going to position themselves. In this case, they have a 2,200 square foot home that's priced at $330,000, and that's your competitor. Remember, your biggest competitor is not only the home builders in your particular micro market, but it might also be the used homes. In fact, never ever forget about used homes. One of your really toughest competitors out there, especially when you've got a really high inventory level. Now, there are 8 different ways to position myself, I should say 9, to position myself around my competitor. As you can see, all the numbers on this market line and on this graph represent that. Now, what I'm trying to do, if I'm operating in a down market, I want to try to get under the market because we go and look back at creating perceived value. Well, anything I can do to create a higher perceived value with my prospects, I mean, I'll get more sales for my homes. So the strategies we're going to look at really closely here are number 3, number 2, number 5, and number 7. Again, because they are below the market line. So let's start with number 2. The second strategy is called down and dirty. That's where you build a smaller size home with a lower level of finishes, not as high finishes, and you lower your price than your competitors. Now, this is the key. You got to find the lots on which to build these homes. So if you can find some foreclosed lots that are priced very competitively in the marketplace, you can do this and they'll sell wonderfully, but the margins will be thinner. Number 3 is downsizing. So you go smaller than the competition, same finish level, but with a lower price. Your markets hit a price wall and the buyers can't afford the prevailing prices, for particularly first-timers. This is a design challenge, obviously, to keep the same functional space with, if you have the 3 good bedrooms, because you're going to obviously reduce the size of your square footage. But if you can succeed, rapid absorption may offset thinner margins. Now, the other idea here is to do a smaller footprint, perhaps a smaller upper level if you're doing a 2-story. But if you build in a marketplace that has room for either bonus space over the garage or a lower level as in a basement, you can finish space there, obviously, to keep your square footage down, but without sacrificing rooms. The next one we're going to look at again will be number 5 here, because we're under the market line. So 5 is a space value. You build the same size home as your competitors, but pull out all the extras in order to achieve a lower price. It's a good survival strategy. That's what a lot of national builders are doing right now. However, if you have national builders in your marketplace, it's probably not going to work because you just won't be able to buy as well as they can. And then number 7, this is my favorite strategy for move-up home buyers. You build a bigger home, you lower the level of finish in it, but keep in mind, you're not going to lower all levels of finish, you'll just lower some of them. But you offer the same sales price as your competition. So in other words, in this case, I'm offering a 2,400 square foot home for the same price as my competitor, $330,000 here in this example. If this extra square footage results in an additional room, or maybe in a larger room, your sales volume can increase. And as a salesperson, this is really fun to do, and a marketer, because that extra room allows me to demonstrate a different lifestyle that they cannot get from my competitors or for the used homes in the marketplace. Probably the best strategy in a down market, again, is that more space value. Got to be very, very careful though. You don't pull out too many finishes, because identifying the psychographic profile of your target market, there are minimum things that they're going to have in their home. Otherwise, they're going to say, nope, won't do it. It's too close to what I have right now. I'll look for something else. Happy selling.